Hello, and welcome to something a little bit different. I feel like this is antithetical to a let's try in a lot of ways. It's more like a let's don't try. Um, I'm not one for doing like drama videos or anything divisive or controversial. Uh, I tend to stay away from a lot of things, even things that really bother me, even things I tend to feel pretty strongly about. Because the fact of the matter is, I don't want to have to fight people in the comments, and I don't want to have to fight people over stupid, petty stuff. But I think that this is a good line to draw, and so I'm going to draw it. This is a game that I was going to cover, and I played through the demo called Creeper World IXE. And I liked it enough. It's a good game. I think that's the worst part about this is I actually kind of like this game. And the unfortunate part of this video is that by talking about it, I'm covering it anyway. And so therefore someone out there is going to see this and probably play it anyway. And that's not necessarily my intention, but I guess go for it because I can't stop you. And, it is what it is. So, it's irrelevant to what I'm talking about. I was going to cover this in the traditional way that I do and just play through it and enjoy it. And then I was literally about to put my video up when I saw on the Steam store page at the very bottom, AI generated content disclosure. The developers describe how their game uses AI generated content like this. Some background and character art extended and enhanced using Photoshop generative fill. Some audio help narration done using an in-house cloned voice for clarity. Now, this is like far from the worst offender, but it's still a line. You either do use AI generative art or you don't use AI generative art, and especially narration specifically, but honestly both. Like they're both just as bad. There's no like soft stepping this one. You have either used it or you have not. And I think that that's such a shame because the problem is there's so many different ways that people have tried to kind of toe the line here. Starting with, well, we only used it for concept art. We only used it for temporary art. We only used it as stock art or placeholders. And I think just as a hard and fast line for myself, if you have used it, then you have used it. And that really sucks. It sucks that I have to draw that line because there are going to be games that where the developers have used it and they have not used it like a lot or extensively, and maybe they don't even know, maybe they can play ignorance, but they still used it. And a line is a line. I think that some lines can be grayed for sure, maybe. I don't think that this is really one of them because if you used it, you used it. At this point, I think it's fair to say that we have enough information about AI generated art that it's difficult to take people for granted, or it's hard to take it as read that people don't know. Maybe they still don't. Maybe some people still don't. But if you have used AI generative art, you are basically, building your game, your empire on the backs of exploited artists. And not only that, but you are also contributing to what I would consider an ecological disaster. At this point, we know pretty definitively that AI generated anything, whether you use OpenAI or any of the like prompted AIs, that is burning like a sizable, ridiculous amount of water. It's just dumping it on the ground for not really much of any benefit. Even when you're playing around with one of your like little toy AIs, you are basically just throwing away water. And there's going to be a lot of people that have played with it. This isn't to shame you. I'm not shaming you. I guess I'm drawing awareness towards this, and I'm also drawing my line here because I just will not cover any games that have used it. It stinks of you didn't want to pay someone, and I mean, like, it really is like you didn't. Not only did you not pay an artist to do the thing that you wanted, but you also used the tool that exploited them. Like, it's a double. You kind of screwed them twice. You know. I don't know how to put it better than that, but like the artist loses twice in this regard, and the voice actor or actress, they lose twice. You didn't use a voice actor, and therefore you use the tool that exploited them. Now, I don't know the exact context for how the AI generated voice acting works, if you can call it acting, but I do know that it's still a line, it's still on there, and I also know that a lot of voice actors have come out to say that, hey, they've not only are people using AI generated voice acting, which sucks, but also their actual real life voice has been like used to generate these voices, and in fact the AI generated voice just sounds like them. So this is the kind of era we're living in. I have occasionally covered a game now where I will actually start to question and not know, like, specifically if AI generated art has been used. I've been asked to cover games in my inbox, and I will say for Creeper World IXE, at least they disclose. It sucks that I have to punish them for doing so by doing this video, but like I do appreciate that, and maybe that's a step in the right direction, but it's not enough, really. I know there's going to be people that tell me, well, you know, like, AI is just a new tool, and tools get used, and there are no evil tools. I disagree. I think that napalm is an evil tool. I think there are evil tools. There are tools made with malicious intent. And I'm not saying that AI necessarily is a malicious tool, but certainly it has been used maliciously. Generally, it has only been used to exploit artists. And as speaking as an artist, I don't like that. Speaking as someone who actually cares about, you know, the planet being livable tomorrow, I think it sucks. I just don't think that there's really much of anything we can do with AI right now in its current state. Will AI be useful tomorrow? I think that companies like Adobe and companies like Microsoft, Google, who else? Everyone, all of them are going to have to be sued into the ground. They're all going to have to undergo basically a ridiculous class action lawsuit and be raked over the coals for every exploited artist before we can start having the conversation about whether AI is an actually useful tool, because that reckoning is coming for sure. You cannot license any of this art. You cannot copyright any of this art, but Adobe, Google, Microsoft, they're all building this what even the Nexus machine, basically, like, you know, the do not build the Nexus machine. Like, I don't know if you've seen that joke, but like, they're all doing it. They're all building this AI monster, and they're all doing it on you know, uncopyrightable art. So at a certain point there will be a reckoning for all of that, and it's going to be a mess. Like, you know, we're going to have this conversation, like, or maybe, I don't know, like, they all have an army of lawyers, but anyway, it's a mess right now. It's a horrible mess, and generally speaking, don't have a lot of respect for a lot of people that speak in favor of AI art. I know there's a lot of people who think that this is there's people gatekeeping art by, saying that AI is not. I have more respect for, like people that literally draw. The first thing that comes to mind in MS Paint, like I play D&D on occasion, and like my GM will draw something in like MS Paint, and they're not necessarily a skilled or talented artist, but I still appreciate that more than AI generated slop. And I think that is still better. No one's gatekeeping art. Please get the heck out of here, bud. Like, that is just such a lazy. Like, I don't want to accuse people of being lazy necessarily by saying certain things. Like, obviously, I also believe in accessibility, but art is possibly one of the most accessible things we have as a culture. Like, it is 100% easy to obtain. You can do it. You can go ahead. Like, please. So, I just don't think that there's a single argument that can be made in favor of AI art. And that's why I have to draw like a hard line of not being able to cover a game that uses it. Because just why should I? It just stinks and smacks, So I want to have this video up for a couple of things, because this has been kind of brewing for a while. I'm seeing more and more games that use it. This was a close call. I almost covered a game that used it. I think I've already covered games that used it, but like maybe back when this was just starting, when AI art was just starting to be a thing, and we were seeing it, and we didn't know just how bad this was yet, but now we know. So here's the line, and here's the video, and this will likely be the last time you see me even adjacently cover a game that uses AI art. Anyway, I don't do these kind of things often, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. Let me know in the comments. In fact, let me know in the comments if you think AI is a great thing and that I'm completely wrong, and that I'm actually like really ignorant for not embracing AI art. That would do me a huge solid, because then I can just block you from commenting on my channel, and that would like save me a lot of time. I don't really need you in my comments. So if you're going to comment, go ahead and do it on this one, and then I can just like save my the people that actually care from having to see your comments in the future. So appreciate that. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.